Hey everyone, so tonight I'm going to make a skillet. Actually this is made with tofu, but I'm not using that because I'm not real familiar with it, so I'm just using chicken because we're going to like that better anyway. So in table, when you click on that, it asks you what you would like to learn, and I had someone say budget friendly meals and someone say quick meals, so this will qualify as both of those. So we're going to start first. I've already cut up the chicken, and I'm going to, we had cornstarch and salt, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch and 1/4 teaspoon of salt for that. So I'm going to do that first with my little handy metal measuring cup. This one measures up to 3 tablespoons. We do have a newer one now that measures up to a cup. And I have it on order because I love this one so much. And I'm hoping it'll get here before the end of the week so I can show y'all some of this stuff. I'm gonna make a mess here, but that's okay. I tend to think I'm not really cooking if I'm not making a mess, so. I'm gonna do that and the 1/4 teaspoon of salt, which is right here. And the reason you're going to use the cornstarch instead of flour is because I think cornstarch makes it cook up crispier. I've seen other recipes for chicken where they do a blend of flour and cornstarch. So I'm just going to mix this together and sort of let this sit. Now, had we been doing the tofu, we would have had to have bought the tofu, put it on a plate, and then put another plate or something over it to press the juice out of it so it wouldn't be too runny. That just seemed like too much of a hassle to me, where most people do eat chicken. So that's what I'm going with. And I'm just trying to make sure it's all coated. And with chicken, we all know we wash our hands constantly because we don't want to cross-contaminate. So I'm going to do that. Thank you. Alright, so I'm just going to let that sit and do its thing while we come over here to our veggies. Now this is our prep board set. It comes actually with 2 of these containers. It has a little thing to flip back and forth to either vent or leave it unvented for your veggies. I didn't get out both of these. This comes with 2. There's also the prep and store set that works like our cool and serve. It has the bar, and it has 3 of these. That has this, plus it has a little attached piece here on the bottom that you can sit in to raise your veggies up over any juice that comes out, and a divider that fits in between these so you can put 2 different things in. Well, we're not going to do that today. I'm just going to sort of use it as my trash can to move away my unwanted pieces here. So I'm going to throw those in, and we're going to slice our, it just says to slice the zucchini, but you know what I think might be better? I'm going to cut it into little moons or little half moons, just because it'll make it stay flat for me while I'm cutting it. And this is my coated chef's knife I'm using here. Comes with its own little cover. To keep you from picking it up where the sharp edges are. You're not supposed to go in there. And I'm not sure if this recipe is actually for 2 people or 4 people. I'm going to include the recipe with the picture. So I'm hoping it'll say on there. Okay. I'm going to stop there because I am going to work on our sauce. So we are going to use our citrus peeler and zester. Actually, zester and juicer, I'm sorry. And I'm going to actually make it do double duty. If you put the zester piece on, where's what I'm looking for? Okay. You can zest with it. And this says, I believe, we want about a tablespoon of the orange. I'm not really measuring any of that. I'm just guessing. The zest has a lot more flavor in it, and that's also where the oils live. So that's going to give your food a lot more flavor. So I don't know that you could well, I guess you could overdo it on the zest, but some of that's stuck there on the bottom, but that's okay because I am going to also do my ginger. This is a piece of ginger root. I buy the big piece of the root and I skin it. I've seen on Food Network where they do it with a spoon. I just use the vegetable peeler. I think that's easier for me because it's got the handle, and I'm afraid I'll lose my grip with the spoon because it's wet. Anyway, so then you can put it in the freezer and it grates really easy for you. And it just says an inch long piece, so I'm probably not going to do all this because he's a fat little guy here. I'm just going to do part of him. So as you can see, my measurements are probably not going to be exact. Okay, and we're going to rinse him out. Maybe. I think we can do a little bit more. Okay, that should be good. Get that little piece off. Then we have 2 garlic cloves. And I could easily use the garlic press for this. But I just thought, well, this is already dirty. Let's just use this guy. I don't use him near as much anymore since I've gotten some of the other things. The citrus press and our citrus press is actually on sale this month. Or not this month, through the 12th. And I like our citrus press. I actually bought one time that was not Pampered Chef. And it's a true story. I was peeling and cutting a lemon or lime or something, and I put it in it. And when I went to mash it, it broke. I guess I mashed it too hard. And so I'm like, I ain't never buying another one of those again. Never, ever, ever, never. Well, I bought the Pampered Chef one, and I do like it. It's ceramic, so it does a lot better. I haven't ever felt like it was going to give on me, like it was going to break. So my recipe keeps wanting to go away. In fact, since I'm talking about it, I'll just go ahead and get it out. So you've got these little holes in the bottom. What you want to do here is cut your citrus in half. And you would think that you would fit this piece down in here, right? You don't. You're going to turn it the other way. And I don't actually think this orange is going to fit in here. But you're going to turn it the other way. Let's see if it will. Yeah, it will. And just mash it in to get the juice. Now this recipe just called for 1 orange. It didn't call for a set amount of juice, so. Okay. There we go. So this is the citrus juicer. Let me just leave that right here. So that's still clean. And in our bowl here, we are going to, I think I'm going to measure it in here and then I'll add that to it. So we're going to do 3 tablespoons of our soy sauce. This is the small batter bowl I'm using. It's really good. It has measurements on the side of it. The citrus juicer does too, but for what I was needing, it didn't really have. I could have made it work, but I'm using the small batter bowl because the recipe says to use it. So we are going to use 3 tablespoons of honey. You could also use agave if you don't have honey. I am probably more likely in my household to have honey. As I think most of you probably would. So one tip I want to give y'all for budget friendly or for quick cooking is try when you get your groceries over the weekend, first of the week, whenever you go ahead and prep what you need. I don't necessarily prep all the vegetables, like I don't wash them and cut them up or whatever, but I do try to, when I'm making my list, plan out, okay, I'm gonna make this, 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 and this for the week. The one reason I do that is I'm going to be more apt to get in the kitchen and cook if I've already got the ingredients in here. If I've got to stop what I'm doing, go to the store, then come back and cook it, probably not going to happen. We'll have a sandwich night or a leftover night or heat up a pizza, you know, just like all of you do. So if you can kind of plan ahead, now I know that's easier said than done because it's so easy to one day during the week think, yeah, I don't think I really want that today. Okay, it's in your cabinet in your refrigerator for the next time. You've already got a plan in place, which I know that don't always work for some things, but some things it does. So, also another thing I try to do is look at what's on sale and then buy in bulk or buy things that I can, if I use it one time in the week, I can use it again later in the week. And this is 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar I'm adding to this. And this is our small measure-all cup. Okay, ginger, soy, red wine vinegar, garlic, and pepper flakes. So we are going to use 1/4 teaspoon of pepper flakes. That's back over here. Those are just some quick tips that help me. I can't find my mini whipper here at the moment, so I'm just going to use the whisk tongs. Well, and I'm just going to add our orange juice, garlic, and ginger, and zest right in here. There is oh, we had a seed escape there. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that sort of draped over that because I might need that again in just a little bit. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and heat up our oil. This calls for canola oil, but instead I just got regular vegetable oil. We're going to do 3 tablespoons of that. Medium high. Set that right to the side there. Because that can be heating up while we're over here cutting up vegetables. Okay, so next we're going to use our quick slice. This is another item that is in our sale for the 1st through the 12th. Has a protective cover on it. Y'all, I love this thing. I use it all the time. I use it for the peppers. I use it for mushrooms. I use it for strawberries. Everything. Another thing I forgot to get out is a scoop loop. So the way I do this is I go ahead and cut our top off. Throw that in there. And then I don't know if you can tell, but the scoop loop has a serrated edge around here and around here. So that makes it good for getting the seeds out of bell peppers, out of pumpkins, acorn squash, spaghetti squash, any of that stuff that you might, go to the smaller end here, might use. And I find it a little sad that they're taking this out of the menu, or out of the catalog in the fall. So, there we go. Scoop that out, real easy peasy. And I am going to cut this into smaller pieces. Now this would be where if I wasn't going to use all of a red pepper or all of a zucchini, I would use my prep bowls. The recipe calls for the whole thing, so I'm thinking I will probably use most of this. So what we're going to do is just put our red bell pepper slice in and just rock this back and forth, and then there you go. Cute little strips of bell pepper. And another quick tip that's budget friendly. If you can do a lot of your own prep work, that'll save you some money at the store. I have found that if I buy a ham slice and bring it in, put it on here, cut it small enough to fit, slice it where it has the long pieces like this, and then turn it around the other way. I'll go ahead and show you with one or two. I do this for the bell peppers and for tomatoes and stuff too. Makes these cute little dices. You can get those cute little dices with your ham, and then you will have saved a lot more than what you will pay for them to slice it. There's usually an upcharge of already prepped veggies. Now I'm not saying you can't take the easy way out, but if you go ahead and buy the stuff to prep with, you got it in your kitchen, why not? I know I had at one time looked into the Hungry Root, which is a service that will send you fresh vegetables and fruits, and they're already cut up and everything for you. And I got to thinking about it. Why would I do that when I've got all these gadgets to cut this up with? It was also kind of expensive to do it. So, okay, we've got our sugar pea pods here, and I'm thinking this said to use the quick slice for them. I'm not real sure how that's. I don't know that I want my pea pod sliced. I think I would rather have them regular. Well, I think I'm gonna leave them whole. You could do however you want to with that. If you like more small bite-sized pieces, I guess they would cook faster that way. I'm just gonna throw them in as they are. So then we have our water chestnuts. I'm gonna use our smooth edge can opener. And we're just gonna attach that on if I don't knock everything else out in the process. And then we're going to reverse it, and that takes it away from the can. And then lift that up. I'm just going to drain some juice off here. We do have a can strainer that I forgot to get out that I could have done. And then the other thing is we're going to use some roasted and salted cashews. This says 1/4 of a cup. So I'm just going to leave this sitting here and eyeball that for a minute. Let's see how this is. I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to get some silicone spatula up there. Nope. This is the older one, but that's okay. So this is our 12-inch skillet. I'm just going to go ahead and put some of my chicken in. Actually, I'm going to put all of it in. Wasn't sure if it was too much to actually spread out, because you want to try to get it in a nice even layer where it will cook on all sides. I'm going to let that sit for just a minute. I'm going to put my sauce ingredients over here. Sugar paste. I'm going to lift my prep board over here. Okay. So this recipe actually called for making or getting already cooked rice. So I bought some of these cute little containers here of the minute brown rice that you just microwave. I think it said to make 2 cups. I'm not sure if by the time this is cooked it'll be 2 cups. Well, it says serving size 1 cup. So I could just microwave this and that would be enough. But I also thought about, I have a box of the instant brown rice, just making that in the microwave. And these could be good if there's leftovers. Just take one of these little cups and take your leftover food with you. So I'm not sure how I'm doing that, but that's not going to be anything special exactly. So yeah, I think medium-high heat's going to be good for this, because you want it a high enough heat level to cook it fairly quickly, but you don't want to have to worry about it burning, which is why I'm using this burner. My other burner over here is a burner that cooks quickly. I mean, it comes to temperature really fast, and I'm apt to burn things with it, so. So I would say probably the bulk of the time for this recipe is going to be spending on just prepping your stuff. I love the way the new Brilliance cookware has these higher sides, so you don't have to worry about anything kind of coming right out of it when you're stirring it. And I almost think that this 12-inch weeknight skillet kind of reminds me of a wok, but I think a wok probably comes up a little bit higher. Those aren't completely done, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and put in my bell peppers and my zucchini. What I'm not losing over here. And they can just cook together. And my water chestnuts. And my snow peas. And you can definitely vary this up with whatever vegetables you like. Maybe do broccoli, carrot, and bell pepper with your water chestnuts. Whatever you want to use there would be great. I'm just going to let these finish stir frying, and then I'm going to add my sauce. And that's really all there is to this. I think what I'm going to do to make sure everything cooks through a little faster is just put the lid on it for a few minutes. And this is it, guys. Stir fry skillet. Orange chicken skillet. Thanks a lot. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.